Hello everyone, thank you for giving us your time today to run a maths professional learning session with you. My name is Connor O'Brien and this session is focusing on how we can address the needs of all students and specifically those with dyslexia and or dyscalculia. The focus of our PL is on students from the ages of 10 to 12, but we hope that you are provided with some new knowledge that will allow all of your students to succeed in an inclusive learning environment. My colleagues who will be delivering this session with me today are Ethan Steele and Ty O'Dwyer. Inclusive classrooms allow us to address a range of learning styles and abilities. Some students might excel at visualizing geometric concepts, while others might grasp algebraic equations through verbal explanations. By tailoring our teaching methods to accommodate these various approaches, we ensure that every student has the opportunity to truly comprehend and excel in mathematics. Furthermore, diversity within the classroom brings a wealth of perspectives. Different cultural backgrounds, experiences, and perspectives offer alternate problem-solving approaches and a broader understanding of mathematical concepts. This exposure enriches discussion, encourages critical thinking, and promotes a more comprehensive understanding of the subject. By embracing inclusivity and diversity, we not only make mathematics accessible to all, but we also prepare our students for a world that celebrates differences and encourages collaboration. In this next segment, we'll delve into two specific learning disorders, dyslexia and dyscalculia, and explore their relevance to mathematics. Let's start with a quick overview. Dyslexia is a learning disorder that primarily affects reading and language processing. It impacts the phonological awareness and decoding skills, making reading and understanding written language challenging. However, dyslexia also plays a significant role in mathematics, as it affects word problem comprehension, the interpretation of mathematical vocabulary, and even reading mathematical symbols. Dyscalculia, on the other hand, is another learning disorder but is centered on mathematics. It disrupts a person's ability to grasp numerical concepts, perform basic arithmetic, and comprehend mathematical language. For example, individuals with dyscalculia may struggle to understand mathematical symbols, sequences, and basic operations like addition and subtraction. Some statistics from the Australian Dyslexia Association and Haberstroff and Schulter-Kohn may surprise you and provide more understanding of the importance of considering these in your teaching pedagogies in the future. Approximately 5 to 10% of 10 to 12-year-olds are estimated to have dyslexia. These students may encounter difficulties in reading word problems and comprehending mathematical concepts within the curriculum, as we have spoken about. Similarly, 3 to 6% of 10 to 12-year-olds are believed to have dyscalculia. This condition, as we have spoken about before, significantly hinders their ability to perform basic math operations. To assist and give you more information in relation to the topics at hand, our session will be broken down into 3 key parts. The first, which Ethan will work through with you, is investigating key teaching approaches and strategies that will assist you in creating and or maintaining an environment that is inclusive to all. These strategies and approaches will also provide more information on how to address the specific needs of your students who may be experiencing dyslexia and or dyscalculia. The second is a specific focus on dyslexia and dyscalculia, expanding on the first point and detailing how we can assist students who experience these learning disorders on the topic of numbers. And lastly, Ty will be providing some example activities and tasks that you may be able to use in your classroom if you choose to do so.
Now let's transition from our general discussion strategies to focus on some key teaching approaches and strategies that address the specific needs of students with dyslexia and dyscalculia while comprehending numbers. So to effectively support these students, it's essential to understand dyslexia and dyscalculia and their impact on mathematical comprehension. These both can present unique challenges, but we must adapt as teachers to cater to these needs with a variety of different methods. So the first method that I would like to talk about is multi-sensory learning. So one of the most effective approaches in multi-sensory learning. This technique engages multiple senses such as visual, auditory, kinesthetic, to reinforce mathematical concepts. For example, using physical objects like blocks or interactive apps that combine visual and auditory elements can make a significant difference. The next method is personalised support plans. Another crucial strategy is developing personalised support plans for students with dyslexia and dyscalculia. These plans should be tailored to individual needs and strengths of the students. This might involve additional one-on-one tutoring, extra time for assignments and assessments, or the use of specialised resources. This could also help with teacher assistance, loading and different things like that. The last one that I'm talking about is assistive technology. So integrating assistive technology can be a game changer for dyslexia and dyscalculia students. Tools like speech-to-text software, calculators with dyslexia-friendly fonts, or screen readers can enhance accessibility and facilitate a better learning space for these students. Now let's transition to the interactive part of our workshop, as we believe that the best learning happens when we actively engage with the content. Here's where we'll dive into our first activity. I'd like for everyone to divide into groups of 3 or 4. Each group will receive a case scenario representing students with dyslexia and dyscalculia. Your task is to brainstorm teaching approaches and strategies that could cater to these students in a mathematical classroom. Take a moment to read the scenario and discuss amongst your group members some of the strategies that we can employ to ensure these students are fully engaged and learning effectively in their mathematical classroom. So this part of the workshop is where groups will discuss and share with everyone some of the strategies that they had made up discuss as a group. So this exercise is designed to emphasise collaboration and the power of varied perspectives. The more ideas we have, the better equipped we are to create inclusive classrooms amongst all teachers. So the first scenario is Sarah. Sarah is a 10-year-old student in your maths class. She has been diagnosed with dyslexia. She is a bright student with a keen interest in mathematics, but she struggles with reading numbers and math symbols accurately. Sarah often reverses digits or symbols, making it challenging for her to comprehend mathematical problems. I'll ask teachers to imagine that they are Sarah's maths teacher. How would you adapt your teaching approach and strategies to help her overcome the challenges she faces due to her dyslexia while learning mathematics? Please brainstorm and list the approaches you would use to support Sarah's learning in your maths class. Scenario 2, which some groups will be given, is Jake. He is a 12-year-old student in your maths class, and he has been diagnosed with dyscalculia. Despite putting in a lot of effort, Jake finds even the most basic mathematical concepts incredibly difficult to grasp. He often confuses numbers, struggles with basic calculations, and experiences anxiety during maths lessons. I'll ask teachers to imagine they are Jake's maths teacher as well. How would you adapt your teaching approach and strategies to help him overcome the challenges he faces due to dyscalculia while learning mathematics? Please brainstorm and list the approaches you would use to support Jake's learning in your maths class.
Looking at the Decimal Olympics now as a activity that you can put into the classroom as a little bit of a competition that promises fun and all while challenging students with tasks such as interpreting, comparing and ordering numbers with more than 2 decimal places. To ensure accessibility for students with dyscalculia and dyslexia, we've got a large range of manipulatives such as blocks, counters and placemat values. But to go that extra mile, I would recommend using some audio snippets for instructions to make learning engaging and inclusive. So as an example, we could take the decimal 0.75 and use the provided manipulatives and audio instructions to represent it visually. All right, so what do you observe from that? So I'm going to throw it over to you now with a challenge. So I want you to design a question that you're going to then give to two fellow teachers. Include at least one audio cue. All right, so record that on a device so that's there for that, and then provide a selection of appropriate manipulatives for that question. So let's see how your creativity can come through with this so that we can take it into the classroom. Overall, the importance of educators understanding how to plan and adapt lessons to cater for students with dyscalculia and dyslexia is critical, as it promotes the inclusive learning environment where all students, regardless of their learning differences, have equal opportunities to succeed. Understanding that these conditions also allow educators to provide tailored support that meets each student's unique needs, which then helps them thrive academically. It's also important to have a deep understanding of how to teach students with dyslexia and dyscalculia, as it then lays a foundation for some long-term success by equipping them with valuable coping strategies and self-confidence, enabling them to then excel academically in their future pursuits. And finally, it's effective teaching strategies like this can significantly improve the academic success for students with dyslexia and dyscalculia, which then enhances their confidence and overall performance. So this brings us to a close of our professional learning session, and it is evident that we've gained a wealth of knowledge and powerful sets of tools to enhance our teaching abilities, specifically when it comes to teaching students living with dyscalculia and dyslexia. This knowledge equips us now to move forward with confidence, knowing that we can now make a significant impact on the lives of these students. As you prepare for these upcoming classes, I encourage you to take a moment to reflect on how you incorporate these strategies into the classroom. It's not just about understanding the conditions, but ultimately implementing the strategies that you can make a world of difference to these students. Now, I'd like you to take a moment and turn to a colleague to engage in some conversation and share your insights. Discuss how you might take these strategies to the classroom. Collaboration and shared knowledge are powerful tools in this profession, so it's very important to have open dialogue with our peers. If you have any additional thoughts or ideas that you wish to add, please take this opportunity to do so. Your perspectives and experiences are invaluable to us, and they can further enrich our collective understanding on how to best support our students.